Hello everybody, Lucas Haneman here, having some fun today. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Now, I had a question from a viewer of the channel, and they asked me, how do you use a loop pedal? Which loop pedal do you like to use? And in your opinion, what is the functionality of a loop pedal for a live musician? So, a bit of a loaded question there, but I'm going to start off with the loop pedal itself. What loop pedal do I like to use? Well, in my particular case, I'm someone who really enjoys looping at a live show. So, I particularly enjoy the TC Electronics Ditto looper. And you can't see it in the frame here, but it's a tiny pedal, maybe like this big, really, really, really small, with one knob and one button. I really enjoy that. To me, that's a simple design, and I can get behind that. So, the button itself controls are you recording or not, and it controls the playback as well of the loop. You can also layer with that button. And then the knob just controls the volume of the loop. Now, I particularly enjoy looping, especially with an acoustic guitar like this. In this guitar, I've got a pickup called a K&K Quantum Trinity Mini. I love K&K pickups. More on those in a different episode, but the great thing about this pickup is that it kind of turns the face of the guitar into a drum, which is something that a lot of guitar players are using nowadays in very sophisticated ways. I mean, it's an amazing thing. So you can get very percussive with your looping. Now, in terms of the functionality of the looper and actually being able to do looping on a very basic level, I would say the most important thing is timing. Timing is really paramount. I mean, timing is paramount to being a good musician, but timing is truly paramount when it comes to playing a loop. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to just do what I think lots of people would do when they get a loop pedal, which is I'm going to hit the button, I'm going to start playing something, and then I'm going to hit the button again when I think it's right. Let me try that. Okay, so I've hit the button. I'm going to play. As you can hear, there's a lot of silence. Before the music starts again, right? Now, I think that doesn't sound very musical. So what you have to practice is you have to practice hitting the loop pedal right on the first beat of the bar. And the way I suggest getting into this is counting while playing. So getting into just really understanding rhythmically how what you're playing works. So if I were to count along to that little passage, it would be 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And I'm going to try to hit that loop pedal right on beat 1, right when I start strumming the guitar. And then on beat 1 of the next bar, when I want the loop to play, I'm going to hit that button again so the loop starts. So let's give that a try. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's listen to it. And here it's going to start again. It sounds pretty seamless to me. And that's the important thing, is that you don't want to know when the loop is starting and when it's ending. And all too often, especially with someone who's new to looping, this can be the problem. You know, it can sound a little glitchy. So I'm going to show you also the other way that I like to use a loop pedal, especially for live purposes, which is really building up a loop. And what I mean by that is, in my opinion, at least when I'm looping, I think of the guitar in sections. So to me, the E, A, and D strings are my bass strings. I can play a bass line there. And then the G, B, and high E strings are my treble strings, where the melody and maybe more of the harmony tends to happen. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to play a bass line on my low strings. I'm going to hit the loop pedal to record that, and then I'm going to hit it again, and I'm going to try to do some layering. So the way I do layering with this loop pedal is that once I have the loop playing back, I just hit the button again and start playing, and it's going to start to build up layers as I go until I hit the switch again, and then it's in just kind of playback mode. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to show you guys a couple, so I'm going to start off with the bass line. I'm going to play something on the treble strings as well, kind of more like a horn section to go along with that bass line. And then I'm going to start using some of these other percussive devices that I like to use to show you how you could go about doing things like that yourself with an acoustic guitar. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's the treble stuff along with that. Now I'm going to start getting percussive. Muted strums. I'm going to play over top of it now. I'm in the key of E, major. You get the idea. You can have a lot of fun with that. And so to me, this loop pedal thing is a great way, especially if you're going to play a long show on the acoustic guitar. It really is a way to make your life slightly easier, but also expand the sound of the guitar and make it seem bigger than it does. You can kind of create the illusion for the audience that there's more than one person playing. Also, loop pedals are a fantastic way to work on chord progressions that are difficult, like soloing over difficult chord progressions. You can record the progression into your loop pedal at home, and you can practice soloing over that with all the scales you know, and all the scales that would work over that chord progression. So they're a great practice tool, a great live tool. Finally, they're a great tool to use if you are someone who unfortunately doesn't have a lot of people to jam with. Maybe you live far away from a lot of musicians. A loop pedal is the perfect way to have a buddy to jam with when it's just you and your guitar. So in conclusion, that's what I like about a loop pedal. I do recommend the TC Electronics Ditto Looper. It's a great loop pedal. I definitely recommend trying to work on your timing. And then beyond that, it's really up to you. There's some amazing musicians out there who do some crazy out-of-this-world things with loop pedals. I mean, Ed Sheeran does some amazing things with it in his solo show. KT Tunstall does some amazing things with loop pedals in her show. And the list goes on and on. I mean, it's just an amazing time for loop pedals. There's so much we can do with them. So please let me know in the comment section below, what's your favorite loop pedal? What is your favorite way to use this loop pedal? That's it for this week. We will see you guys and girls again next Tuesday.